Hope to hardship. How spousal work permit cuts are devastating immigrant families. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're diving deep into a critical issue affecting thousands of immigrant families across the country: Canada's recent cuts to spousal open work permits. Many families who came to Canada with dreams of building a better future are now facing financial hardship and difficult choices. If you or someone you know has been impacted by these changes, you'll want to stay tuned until the end. We'll take a deep dive into what these reductions mean for immigrant families, how their lives are being impacted, and, most importantly, what steps they can take to navigate these changes. We'll also explore practical solutions and strategies to help families overcome these challenges. Make sure to stick around. Before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates. Now, let's get started. Canada's immigration system. A double-edged sword. Canada has long been a beacon of hope for immigrants, offering countless opportunities to build a new life. Its immigration system is often praised for its progressive policies, offering pathways to permanent residency and citizenship through various work and study permits. But even as it has helped many, challenges often lie beneath the surface, particularly when sudden changes are made. For years, spousal open work permits allowed the spouses of international students and temporary workers to work legally in Canada, providing crucial financial stability to their families while contributing to the economy. But recent developments have disrupted this balance in a way many families were unprepared for. The value of the Spousal Open Work Permit. The Spousal Open Work Permit has been nothing short of a lifeline for immigrant families. With one partner studying or working temporarily in Canada, the other spouse could legally work, offering an essential second income. In cities like Toronto, Vancouver, or Montreal, where the cost of living is high, this second income is often a necessity. Beyond financial relief, the SOWP allowed families to stay together. The idea of moving to Canada without the opportunity for both partners to work seemed unimaginable for many, and this permit played a key role in helping families integrate into Canadian society. Unpacking the 2024 Spousal Work Permit reductions. In late 2024, the Canadian government announced significant cuts to the number of spousal open work permits issued, reducing them by over 100,000 in the next 3 years. These cuts came as part of an effort to manage temporary resident volumes and protect the Canadian labor market. Here's what has changed. Eligibility limitations. Now, only spouses of international students enrolled in master's or doctoral programs that last at least 16 months will be eligible for a work permit. Sector-based restrictions. The spouses of temporary foreign workers can only apply for work permits if their partner is employed in management, professional occupations, or sectors with recognized labor shortages. Reduction in permits. The policy shift is expected to lead to a significant drop in SOWPs issued, leaving many families scrambling for solutions. The ripple effect. Families caught in the crossfire. What does this policy shift mean on the ground? Thousands of families that relied on dual incomes to make ends meet now find themselves in uncertain circumstances. Spouses who secured jobs, contributed to the economy, and supported their households are seeing their permits revoked or applications denied under the new restrictions. Financial strain. In most Canadian cities, a single income isn't enough to cover basic expenses like rent, groceries, and childcare. With one spouse now unable to work, many families are being pushed into financial hardship, possibly forcing the working spouse to take on additional jobs, putting strain on both partners. Emotional and mental impact. Beyond the financial impact, the emotional toll on families is substantial. Many came to Canada with dreams of building a new life together, but now one spouse is relegated to a dependent role. This can lead to feelings of purposelessness, particularly for skilled professionals whose talents are now sidelined. Separation and relocation. Some families are considering temporary separation. If the spouse can no longer work in Canada, returning to their home country may seem like the only option. However, this comes with its own heartbreak, as it could mean living apart for months or years. Others are exploring more inclusive work permit policies in other countries, making Canada seem less appealing. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Now, let's dive deeper into how these cuts to spousal work permits are affecting immigrant families and what options they might have moving forward. Navigating the new reality. What affected families can do. For immigrant families caught in the middle of this policy shift, adapting to these new rules will require resourcefulness and careful planning. While the immediate consequences are hard to ignore, there are several ways families can mitigate the impacts of these changes. 1. Seek Provincial Nominee Programs, PNPs. Some provinces in Canada have PNPs with different work permit criteria than the federal government. Families should explore whether their province offers more favorable conditions. In provinces with labor shortages, certain sectors may still prioritize issuing work permits for spouses. 2. Legal challenges and advocacy. Advocacy groups are encouraging affected families to seek legal counsel. In cases where a spousal open work permit has been denied, immigration lawyers can help file for reconsideration, especially if family separation is at stake. Immigration advocacy groups are also pushing for more humane exceptions for vulnerable families. 3. Switch to student visa sponsorship. For some families, it might be worth switching roles. If the spouse on the SOWP qualifies for a student visa, they could pursue further education. This offers temporary relief, and may also open up different pathways to work or residency. 4. Seek part-time or freelance work. Though the new rules restrict full-time work permits, some spouses may find opportunities for freelance or part-time work that don't require permits. Remote work for companies outside Canada might also offer some financial relief without violating their visa status. 5. Financial reassessment and support networks. Families should prepare for potential financial struggles by reassessing their budget and seeking out local support networks. Immigrant communities, faith-based groups, and non-governmental organizations are valuable resources that can provide both emotional and practical support during this uncertain time. Canada's immigration future. Are more changes on the horizon? The reduction in spousal open work permits is part of a broader immigration overhaul that Canada has set in motion. The government's goal to reduce temporary residents to 5% of the total population by 2027 signals that further changes may be ahead. Additionally, the introduction of stricter language requirements for post-graduation work permit applicants is another example of tightening regulations, potentially affecting more families in the coming years. As Canada's immigration system becomes more selective, families will need to stay informed and prepared for future adjustments. The voices of immigrant families. Stories of hardship. The impact of these changes isn't just theoretical, it's already being felt by families across Canada. One couple from India, living in Toronto for the past 2 years, shared their story. The husband, studying for his master's degree, had his wife working in the tech sector through an SOWP. Now, with her work permit set to expire under the new rules, their family faces financial instability. "We came here with hope," she explained, "but now we feel like we're being forced out." For many immigrant families, Canada has always been a land of opportunity. But the recent changes to the Spousal Open Work Permit program have created a significant challenge, pushing families into financial and emotional turmoil. While there are strategies that can help mitigate these impacts, many families are now facing tough choices about their futures. The journey from hope to hardship has been swift for many. However, by exploring new pathways and seeking the right support, some families may still find ways to thrive in this evolving immigration landscape. The big question now is, how many more families will be affected before the government reassesses the human cost of these changes? Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Canada Chronicles. We hope this deep dive into the recent changes to spousal open work permits has provided you with valuable insights and clear steps on how to navigate this challenging new reality. While these policy shifts are difficult, there are still pathways available for families willing to adapt and explore new options. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who may be affected by these changes. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date with the latest immigration news and tips. We've got more content coming that you won't want to miss. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.